Things get worse for the Pittsburgh Penguins as Kyle Dubas continues to try to open the playoff window during the Crosby era, and they place their starting goaltender on waivers today. We're going to break everything going wrong in Pittsburgh and more later on this episode. Before we start, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone subscribed. And if you're a part of the 92.9% that's not subscribed yet and you want to keep up to date on not only Penguins hockey, but everything to do around the league, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button as we'll give you updates from around the league for the rest of the year. Now with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is the fact that things are just getting worse in Pittsburgh as the season goes on. Now looking at the NHL standings and the wildcard spot, we can see that the Penguins are currently 7th in the wildcard spot. We see the Boston Bruins and the Columbus Blue Jackets holding down both wildcard spots. Ottawa, Montreal, the Red Wings, the Flyers, all these teams are above Pittsburgh with a lot of games in hand. The Penguins are currently only 4 points out of a playoff spot, but teams like Columbus have 2 less games played. The team like Boston, who is 5 points ahead, have the same amount of points, but this is not where Kyle Dubas, Penguins fans, or the players wanted to be at this point of the year. Now, getting into the news that dropped today that shocked a lot of fans was the fact that we can see that Tristan Jarry has been placed on waivers. Now, Tristan Jarry has been disappointing this season with the Penguins. We've seen him sign this extension, and coming into the year, he really could not get things figured out. This season alone, we can see that he has an .886 save percentage. You can work your way, you can pause, and each year these stats are slowly dropping for Jarry as the season goes on. Now, looking at Jarry's contract, this is where things get quite interesting. Tristan Jarry, year 2 of 5 with his contract extension, $5.375 million. He's a UFA in 2028 when he turns 33 years old. Now, looking at Jarry, looking at the fact that, yes, he was placed on waivers today. This is a contract that I cannot see any team picking up. This could be a blessing in disguise where Dubas sends him down, he finds his footing and comes back up, but this also could just be a cap burden on a team that's already dealing with so much cap space, or a cap hit, I should say, which we will touch on shortly. But looking at Jarry's stats, looking at his contract, not only this year, but for the next 3 seasons, Tristan Jarry being sent down, I'm willing to bet, and I'm not a general manager, so I may be mistaken, but this contract will not be touched by anyone. What's your guys' thoughts on Tristan Jarry sent down? Are you happy that he got sent down, or were you wishing that he kind of picked things up, which I'm sure everyone was hoping if you're a Penguins fan? But looking at this, we're going to do a dive into this contract and a lot of other contracts that Kyle Dubas has signed with this organization. Now, looking at this, July 1st, 2023, in a separate deals, Dubas spent more than $65 million. The first one, Tristan Jarry, 5 years, $5.375 million per season. He's 29, was waived on Wednesday, less than 1/3 of the way through the deal after posting an .888 save percentage in 21 appearances. As I said, this is a contract that not a lot of teams are even going to sniff at or look at with how long this deal is and how he's been playing. But it continues on. Defenseman Ryan Graves, a 6-year deal, $4.75 million. He turned 29, has not registered a single point in his last 31 games played this season. With the term remaining on his deal, he is an untradeable asset. Lars Eller, who was traded this year, was signed to a 2-year, $2.45 million. He was 35, was traded to Washington on November 13th in exchange for a 3rd and a conditional 5th. You can read through this. You can see that both Matt Nieto and Noel have also signed deals that are on this. This is a Dubas, I don't want to say masterclass, but this has not been a strong signings by Kyle Dubas going into the season. As I said, a lot of these contracts are untradeable. Ryan Graves looks like a guy that can't really get into NHL games at the moment. Tristan Jarry has been sent down to Scranton, and it seems like he may be spending quite some time down there when he's supposed to be the goaltender of this team. Now, looking at this and the defense appearance, and we will touch on some other contracts as well, Graves and Nieto are both in the press box. This is from Puckpedia. This is going to change quite a bit, and it may change since I recorded this. But looking at the defenseman, Pettersson, Letang, Grzelcyk, Karlsson, Pickering, and Joseph, This is not a Stanley Cup winning defensive pairing. It has the tools to be. Erik Karlsson, if you can turn back time, Letang has looked fine this year. Pettersson looks like a guy that might hit the market and fetch quite a bit. But with this Crosby era, it does get quite interesting for Kyle Dubas trying to figure out, and it seems like he's starting to look at this team as a team that might have to sell. But as long as you have Sidney Crosby on this team, as long as you have Evgeni Malkin, Kris Letang, Erik Karlsson, this is a team that you need to start trying to win games with. And it seems like a trade not only on the back end, maybe a new goaltender if things don't pick up, but it does go into more. Kyle Dubas, executive three-way trade with the San Jose Sharks, and this is going in on Erik Karlsson. He was moved off. They retained money on Jeff Petry's contract. You can pause, you can read this. The first round pick traded to San Jose ultimately became star prospect Sam Dickinson of the OHL London Knights, who has a staggering 49 points in 28 games this year. We've seen him also join the World Juniors. So getting an aging Karlsson, someone on this back end that is on quite a massive deal for this Penguins team that has not recreated what he did in San Jose, what he did in Ottawa, is a bit of a staggering trade for the Penguins, and it does make it worse when you look into the fact that Sam Dickinson could have been a Penguins player, but now is one of, if not the top prospect currently on the San Jose Sharks. Now, it does continue on to a fan favorite that Dubas did move on from, and this was moving out Jake Guentzel. You can pause, you can read through this. He did not receive a first-round pick in exchange for the two-time 40-goal scorer and point-per-game Guentzel. Dubas also did not receive any one of Hurricanes' top 5 organizational prospects. For reference, these players fetched first-round picks at the 2024 deadline. Hurdle, Hannafin, Henrique, Sean Monahan, Lindholm, and Sean Walker. Guentzel went on to sign the largest free agent deal this season of UFAs of this summer. Now, once again, looking at everything Kyle Dubas has done with this team, Jake Guentzel wanted to stay. Jake Guentzel would have been perfect in this top 6, but instead he went out to build this. Now, as I said, there's some great pickups within this organization. Tomasino has looked great with this team. Michael Bunting was a bit of a questionable one. Raquel has struggled a tiny bit picking things up, but looking throughout the lineup, looking with what they traded, not getting first-round picks or top prospects for Jake Guentzel, looking at what the team has on the back end, their starting goaltender going down to the AHL. Penguins fans, things are getting scary. And what's your thoughts on this? Do you think Kyle Dubas might be showing the door in the next season or two? Do you think this team deserves to be given 1 or 2 more chances with Dubas at the helm to fix the ship and try to open up this window with Sidney Crosby, Malkin, Letang to get them a final cup? What's your guys' thoughts on this? Make sure to leave a comment. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. And we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. But I've been your host, Mark. Bye, and take care.